Hello, dear friends. Welcome to AdventureStory Channel videos. Thank you very much that you have waited, and excuse me a lot for this delay. Excuse me. I hope you will join later on, and thank you also that you are so much, let's say, participating and have this great energy. And it's my pleasure, my real pleasure, to share with you the information that I have, and we lift up together. So one of the things that today a main title is the shipping crisis, and the shipping crisis also has to do with the crew itself. This is my personal perspective, okay, what I see, but I believe it will help also the companies that have, let's say, crew. They are willing also to improve some things. They see things differently. And one important thing also is that in order to improve something, you need to be open for the constructive feedback. Okay. And the title today, the title, it is mostly related with the Siemens itself. So, in order to create a great team and great crew on board, what is really necessary from them that they feel valued. They really feel valued of what they are doing. Because even you say you have $10,000, $15,000, let's say salaries, they will not stay for the long time. They will not be engaged with you and with the vision of the company unless you create it and you share it with them together. So as the businesses operate today, it's not a sharing point. So it's just a applying and keeping people for specific roles, specific needs, and that's why the top talents they are leaving because they are not feeling engaged with something bigger, something grateful, which will create them progress as well and give them also the feeling that they're contributing in something, they're making something, they're learning, they're progressing as well. So, how to change that? It's really, really important. And there is a specific way how to do that. First of all, much more engagements, a clear and transparent conversations, and this is yes very difficult to achieve. This is really difficult to achieve. When we talk about transparent conversations, we say yes that we are open and willing to hear not what we are expected to hear, but the actually constructive feedback. And we are ready for that feedback in order to take it, properly process it, and properly address it as well. And this is the point that at the moment does not happening. Does not happening. We cannot say at all in some of the companies they are start to realize that, and that is good. But most of them, let's say 80, 70% about, they are not even close to that point. So they just running up, extinguishing the fire where the fire, let's say, are happening. They just hire another person, another crew member, and this is going and going and going. It will not stop. It will become much more difficult. And the one of the point where we stand also as community and here as a learning platform, as educational platform, we help to reduce these biases and better give a clear image for the owners, for the crew departments, let's say, for the people that are working on board, how they need to approach in order to collaborate and create that environment which everyone thrives. And one thing that we So at the beginning is, yes, the clear communication, the transparent communication, the constructive feedback that is required in order to improve, and then this need properly to be addressed and bring it to the table and see how we can improve, what we can do in order to create that environment. Through my also contribution, let's say, as a seaman, as also in the companies, sometimes I can say I found that specific point, but it's really different from the company and from the people that you're working, how these things change. So if you're asking, let's say, most of the seamen on board in the same company, they will say that each vessel it's like feeling in a different company. And why is that? Because the people are changing. And each person, let's say on board, let's say captain or chief engineer, have different perspective. So basically, they are creating an image which is not actually the actual image of the company, but they create a infrastructure, a small framework that are working according their opinion, their perspectives, and that perspectives can be really, really huge from the vision of the company. That's why it's really important to stay as much as possible neutral but close to the company's vision through the entire fleet. But in order to create that, yes, you need to have a much closer collaboration with office and let's say a crew on board. And this is what at the moment is not happening. It's not happening. It's also not happened while I was at sea and I was there, yes, seeing how the things, how is the connection with the office. And you can say that sometimes it's missing, okay? It's completely missing. This is what you can see. But also, I believe through the time, as this video will be online, a lot of people also will be able, let's say, to express their own perspectives, their own opinions of how they feel and how they can see, depends of what I'm now saying. Okay, because I'm also open to see what is your reflection, because all of us, let's say if we take 100 person that will see this video, will have their own perspective, their own way how they live this specific event or let's say experience, and then we can compare to my story of what I'm saying in order to see where is their common paths to be connected and how we can take it further in order to make this improve. So I have discussed, yes, many times. I have discussed also with people that are in the shipping industry, their belief, and this is just a human belief that they will find the best that will make everything perfect without no mistakes. Let's say they will comply with all the regulations and with all, let's say, requirements. And this is the image that they are building. But actually, the nature does not work like this. We can see that there is huge differences, huge losses between what is expected and what actually we get. And also, this is related with the people that we are dealing with. I have seen many people on board, let's say, or some of them that you are not able even properly distribute the work. But what you can do, you cannot throw them, you cannot just say, okay, they're not willing to do that thing, we cannot work with them. You cannot say that. If the people, let's say, are willing to do something that they are good on, okay, do that you're good on, okay. And this is what we have looked for, okay. If we have a good communication, at least a good communication, and the person does not know some of the things or making mistakes, everyone makes mistakes, my own also, I make mistakes. It is not a, let's say, the worst case scenario to discard the person and then continue with another one. Okay. And I have seen that, yes, the top talents are leaving because, yes, they see some things, but these things are not improved through the time. And there is no willingness also to improve. And that is also true because if you look to a company, how a company operates, a shipping company in nowadays, it's a craziness. It's exactly craziness. It's not a, let's say, a constructive way. It's like demand, you comply or you go. And this is not the way how it's supposed to be. It's not the way because what you're building, it's not a long-term success now at the moment. It's just a short-term success. Okay, how I will do the work, how I will just comply with the IMO requirements, and that's all. You just have the paper and you don't care about the quality of work. So, in order to create that quality of work, first of all, you have to educate your people. You have to connect with them and to have a really good connection. And then you can say, okay, I can trust these people. You cannot just manipulate them and, okay, provide a salary or something else. That's why this mess is going and going and going and ongoing, and it will be ongoing unless you break the chain and you create a really proper way how to connect with your people, listen them what they have to say, and then you can create that direction. But it for sure requires experience. It's not just a 1 day or 2 days. It maybe will require weeks in order to evaluate how the things are progressing and then start to take actions. That is also one of the parts of what I'm doing. It's not necessary for me to assign to one company, let's say to work for a company for a salary. I just can come for 1 week, 2 weeks, and find that weak points that creates that frustration over time. We can find ways how to reduce that one. We can find the ways, let's say, how to reduce this frustration, create value, and people actually feeling that value. It's not only by saying, it's by actually feeling that value. The value itself are not only dedicated with the amount that they are earning. And this is the false mistake that most of the companies are making. It's not just the salary. And since the companies will understand that, they will be much better prepared. But since there is no action on that, this cycle will continue and continue. It will work until you will break it. And what is required? It's required a proper action, a proper objective observation of how the things are working. I have changed, let's say, 5 to 6 companies, and really that creates a good way of understanding how the companies are operate. Because if you are working for one company for a long, you have forget a lot of things. You have just focused to one thing, which is stable, which is standard, and that's all. You cannot compare anything. But if you have a vision of 5 to 6 different companies, then you can see the difference, how it must be, how they work, and what we have here. Then you can really compare of how the things are going on, and you can easily identify where is the gap. I don't believe that there is no way to improve. There is always way to improve. And it's on your hands if you would like to improve. One of the way of improvement is to watching the videos here on the channel. Another way of improving is to read something that will create value for you. Thank you very much, Yorosfe. Thank you. Another thing is, yes, reading books. Just one thing on the day. But this thing to create a value for you and bring you further, one step further. Okay, what I have learned today. Maybe there is days, let's say, that we will not learning anything. It can be also, but we have to make our days specifically that point that it serves for you. Okay, it serves for you. It serves your personal development. Because if you dedicate all of your time serving somebody else, you will be for sure um, really kept by that specific organization and that person, or let's say department. So this is really important, how to improve ourselves. Yes, this is just what I have to say. It needs a good approach from everyone, and I hope that the shipping companies are willing to open, because it needs a way of transparency. I know, okay, that there is a, let's say, a disclosure, okay, to not share that information, but nobody will share that information. That information is only shared in a good purpose, in order to create that environment. Since you have that environment, then the people can work in a great environment, feel value, feel that the salary is provided to them. It's not buying, let's say, their existence there, but it provides something bigger for to them. So yes, this is it. This is it, and this is more ways for sure. This is one of the ways how we can create that environment. And as you know, Siemens and seafaring itself transfer 90% of the global trade. As you can imagine, 90% of the global trade. It's really, really huge. And it's really crucial, let's say, item to focus. Because if we treat, let's say, the seafarers just like a equal worker on the factory or manufacturer, we already have made a huge mistake, a really huge mistake, because their work, their dedication cannot compare to any other work. And for that, I'm really, really sure. What I would like from you is to share this video so it will reach the ears of the shipping companies, and we can look forward together how we can make that change and a meaningful impact to the industry, which is much needed. Thank you very much. And excuse me that you waited a little bit more to start the video. Thank you that you are here. We have 3 participants. That's really great here live. And I hope, yes, we will get more and more through the time. I know that's difficult to connect to everyone, but for those seeing us, let's say, offline, wish you a great evening and see you to more adventure story videos from Adventure Story Channel. Bye bye. Bye, guys.